Hello everyone and welcome to this video. So I planned this simultaneous exhibition for the members of my 45 plus 45 league team. The name of the team is We Will Fork You, but it seems that only one of my teammates, who is Prentice Slot, joined, so I will take these two other persons and let's start. The time control is 30 plus 30 and it is random color, so I might get black or white depending. So only my teammate is playing. The other two players joined, but they didn't make a move for some reason. I don't know why, so not sure if I should call this a simul or not. Certainly not a simul anymore. So I will just comment on this game. This is a line of the Scotch Gambit after, for instance, knight takes e4 and d4. You take cd and then go with d5, and for instance after dc5 you go dc4. You should not be afraid here to take the pawn. This is the mainland theory. Knight takes e4 is the main line of this position. It looks too scary to open up the file, but that's actually the main line of the Scotch Gambit. I remember that I played this exact position in July. It was 23rd of July, I believe, when I played this OTV. It was a rapid tournament and I actually won that game with the black pieces. This is how it goes. Did I get oh, I got white. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry to the other. I thought this was supposed to change automatically, but I didn't enable it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm really sorry, but I didn't enable the change. I didn't enable the changing boards automatically. I'm really sorry to the other two persons. I thought they were not playing, but yeah. Oh my god. Okay. So it wasn't enabled. I oh my goodness. Okay. That was a slight mistake from my part. Now it is enabled, so whenever my move happens to be, the leeches will automatically redirect me to the board where is my move. So we have bishop g4 here. I think knight e5 was supposed to be played. And here white castle. I think d6 was the move, if I remember correctly. So here we got the Berlin defense with 4d3, avoiding the endgame. And we got another move, c3. I'm gonna play bishop b6, not to get harassed with the move d4. And here we get bishop f5. So I think I'm gonna play just bishop g2 or c4. I don't remember what I was supposed to be playing here, but let's go bishop g2. So is nowhere my move? It seems that is nowhere my move. Okay, so Prentice goes for rook e1. Rook e1 is not a move I'm familiar with. I'm familiar with dc5, dc4, and after, for instance, queen e2, there's queen d3. That is how the main line goes. dc4, dc5, and then queen d3 is what I was aware. This move I'm not familiar with. So my bishop is hanging. Should probably just retreat now. I don't really know where should I be retreating. Bishop b6. I have the possibility to maybe even take. In the event of dc5, I go queen d1, drive the rook away from the foul, and dc4, rook takes. I have bishop e7, but then there's bishop g5, so that's probably not a good idea. I'm leaning towards just bishop e7, use the most solid choice, shut down the foul, and no bishop g5 nonsense. Leave this piece hanging, and that should be okay, I think. Another possibility, serious possibility to consider, is meet this rook e1 move with another tempo move like bishop b4, and I'm hitting the rook, and I'm also hitting c4, so still nowhere else my move. I was checking. So if I play bishop b4 now, in the event of, for instance, bishop takes, I believe I can take on d5 anyways, and if queen e2, there's always this hanging, so bishop b4 looks reasonable. There's knight c3, of course, after which I think I'll take pawn takes and then castles, maybe. I'm not sure. That is the best way. So I have several options here. I'm debating whether to go bishop b4 with tempo or go bishop b7, shutting down the file. Bishop b7 looks like the most solid option here. But I'm really tempted to go bishop b4. Yeah, I'm gonna go bishop b4. I cannot resist. there's bishop d2 as well. Yeah, bishop b4, bishop d2, and then you know what? Since I'm playing 3 games, I'm gonna play the most solid. Bishop e7. Just shut down the file and. Alright, so. c4 looks normal. I'm gonna play c4. Knight a3. Whoa, that's a weird move. Okay, who wants to come here? Normally the knight goes there. I don't really see a benefit for black if white has played this knight a3 move, because normally white goes knight bd2 in these lines to get to c4. Knight d3 also is aiming to go to c4 obviously, but I'm considering if there is a way in which I can take advantage of this move from white. I don't think so, but maybe there is some way. I think I should just castle really here and don't try to punish this move. I don't even believe that it is punishable in some way. Also h6, because one benefit of playing knight a3 from white is that this bishop is free to be developed and create this pin, which is slightly awkward to face. So even though Andras Todd, international master from the Australia, always thinks that these kind of moves are just lemons. That's how he calls them. I think h6 in this position, preventing bishop g5 before castling, because I was considering to castle here first, but that will allow bishop g5, and that's slightly annoying. I cannot play knight e7 since he will ruin my pawn structure. I'm gonna go h6. So he goes for c6. Okay, should I go knight c3 first, intending to create more pressure against the center, or should I castle, or should I go queen b3? Those are my options. I'm not too sure. What should I play here? You know what? I think any move really is playable here. I think I'm gonna use castle here. Okay, so it goes knight c4, yeah. Now I'm just gonna castle here also. I don't think I can preserve that bishop. So let's see. Let's see what happens. So bishop b3 by my teammate. I think I should just castle short here. I'm gonna close this chat window. Just castle. Okay, it's nowhere my move, it seems. So that's good. Okay, it seems still nowhere my move. Okay, here is my move. That is simple. Just recapture the piece. And here white has won the bishop pair. But I wanna try to make this maneuver, trying to get in this center expansion. Also knight e7, c6 and b5 could be an idea, getting some queenside expansion as well. Yeah, gonna go for that. Knight d7, yeah. Here I was thinking knight c3 was a reasonable way of playing in the event of knight takes e5, d takes e5 with tempo, forcing this knight somewhere else. I think I made a slight miscalculation there. I was hoping that after knight 4, knight takes, bishop takes, I was gonna win a pawn, but not quite the case. I think I will have to. Yeah, I was thinking knight takes, pawn takes, then I has to move, and then I get in e4. But then I can go here, is what I did not consider. So that might be a slight problem for me. Yeah, that's gonna be. I mean, it's not completely bad, but it's definitely not what I was hoping for. After knight takes, pawn takes, and I don't know, something like he can obviously take and go knight e7, attacking my pawn, and after e4 this pawn is hanging, so that could be also a problem. I mean, I can always play a4 or bishop f4. Oops, d4 here. Okay, I can go knight e6, just defend the pawn. And here knight fd2 was played. I'm curious of why my teammate decided to go for the f knight and not with the b knight. maybe he was afraid of this bishop g4 move, but after takes and bishop takes, I don't think I have a, although maybe I had, maybe. Now I'm considering knight takes d4, because after knight takes and pawn takes, I'm defending my d4 knight with my queen. And if knight takes, queen takes, I'm gonna win a tempo with bishop e6, since the queen cannot grab on b7. That'll be really painful with mate on d1. So knight takes looks playable. I don't see why not. At that point, even bishop takes is playable, and then my bishop on e7 could be in some trouble. I can obviously take. He will have to take with a queen, really. I mean, taking on d2 looks even probably better here, because after knight d2 he will have to recapture, and well, he will have to recapture in a very awkward way, is what I mean, because this pawn on d4 is just hanging. Like queen takes, oof, that looks ugly, honestly. I have bishop f6, and how do you cover this? I'm gonna take on d2 now. So here bishop b4 was the choice by my opponent. Reasonable. That's a reasonable move. I can play bishop d2, just trying to keep my structure intact. And if he takes after knight takes, d takes, and knight e7, my pawn on e5 will be defended. I'm gonna play although bishop d2, knight e5, d5, knight e7 could be a slight issue. I'm banking on the fact that after bishop d2, knight takes e5, d takes e5, knight e4, knight takes e4, I win a piece because this is hanging. Bishop d2 will be met by knight e2. I'm playing for some tricks, honestly, here, but as I said, it is just objectively not a good idea to play for tricks only. Knight takes e5, d takes e5, and knight e7. For instance, if I start with bishop d2, knight takes e5, d takes e5, and then knight e7, then I don't have a very clear way to defend the. Maybe I can try e4, but pawn takes, knight takes, bishop takes. Yeah, that's what concerns me. So I'm not sure. Not sure about this one. I can try g4, maybe cd5. Like cd5, imagine black takes with a c pawn, and then I go g4. For instance, now there's knight takes. Pawn takes, and if knight takes I have this check, but he can always start with a capture here. Yeah. E4 I cannot play. I think after knight e7 I can play CD, CD, and then f4, like what I'm referring to, the line I'm referring to is knight, bishop d2, knight takes, pawn takes, and knight e7. I can take here and then go f4. Doesn't look too bad, and I have that idea to go for that trick. Also, it is a simul and I should not be spending too much time. So, oops. I think I'm gonna go c6 here. So queen d2, yeah. I mentioned this. He has to recapture in an awkward way. Now I have bishop f6 and I have a lot of pressure here against the d pawn. I don't see how he defends it. Okay, the bishop went back to f1. That's a solid move. I'm gonna play rook e8 here, trying to trying to make white to release the tension in the center is what I mean. I know that this might cost 2 moves for the rook after queen d8 and rook d8, but in that case I force white to release the tension in the center, and well, also of course I'm threatening this one with pressure against e4, so this move puts indirect pressure against white's center. And since he already retreated with bishop f1, I don't think he wants to go back to d3 to guard the e4 pawn. That would be like I mean, like moving the bishop twice is not the first thing that comes to your mind. So I have a solid position. In all of my black games. In my white game, I'm actually not too sure if I'm doing so great. Things I recently switched my opening repertoire with the white pieces and I'm struggling. Let's see if someone has said anything in the chat. So queen c2, yeah. Once you play bishop f1, I don't think you want to waste another move with the same piece. Yeah, doesn't make too much sense. Here d5 comes to mind. d5, ed, queen takes is the idea, defending the e5 pawn with the queen. So let's calculate. The critical line here after d5 is not this, because I stay with a knight, but the critical line after d5 is e takes d5, queen takes d5, and then some move for white, for instance c4, trying to remove the queen from the defense of the e5 pawn. I have queen d6. If it takes here, I can just take. I don't see why not. there's bishop f4 at that point, but then I can take with check. And for instance, after check, g takes f3 and queen takes f4, rook takes e8. Conveniently, my knight on f6 is defending the what is it called? the rook on e8. Yeah. So e5. I hope I don't miss anything. I don't think I missed anything. Hopefully. No, I don't see what I missed. I'm gonna do it. Queen b6 by my opponent here. He's giving me the option to take on d7 maybe. After knight takes d7, I don't think you want to take with the king. That would be really insane, to say the least. Knight takes will be the answer, and then e4, harassing this guy. Pawn takes, knight takes. That's the idea. I can also play a3. I know that my d4 pawn is hanging, but if I play a3 after bishop takes, I will add two defenders to my d4 pawn. So a3 is my first candidate move in this position. Note how bishop d6 will fail to knight takes d7. He has to recapture because I'm threatening the queen, and I'm also threatening knight takes f6 check. So here he will recapture, and then I will go c5 with a fork. So after a3 he doesn't have too many options. The only other option is this move, bishop e7, and then these two pawns are hanging. So I have to be a little bit careful there, not to allow some pawn grabbing by black in this position. So I could play e3 just solid, defending this pawn right here. I can also take, by the way. I'm leaning more towards capturing first. I think I'm gonna capture here. Force knight takes, and then I'm gonna play with e3. So it goes knight c3. Okay, that's reasonable. I can play bishop e6. I can also play knight e7, preparing c6, and later this knight can go to f5 to put pressure against his IQP, his isolated queen's pawn. The only thing to calculate is what I mean is after knight e7 if he can sack the exchange. Maybe. I don't think so. I don't believe it. I'll take with the bishop. Yeah, that is no compensation. I'm really tempted by knight e7 here, defending the pawn, preparing c6, and knight f5 is coming with pressure against d4, which is really hard to defend. I can obviously initiate some capture on d4, trying to open up the center in a situation where his pieces are not very well organized, is what I mean. But I think knight e7 makes more sense, in my opinion. Preparing c6 and also knight f5 is coming. So it takes with a knight. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Now I can play e3. Can also play a3. But h3, as I said before, then he's forking these 2 pawns, and I don't think I can defend him. I think I'm just gonna play. Actually, now he could think of capturing here, so I'm gonna take on d5 first. Just normal moves. cd5, and then go for e3 and ask the bishop what does he want to do with his life. Oh, he took on e5. Okay, so I think I'm gonna take. Oops. I'm gonna take on e5. That's, yeah, I'm just gonna take on e5. Okay, he plays pawn takes. I can play rook takes here, and he will be pinned. Then there will be bishop f4. I will have to go back, and then e5. I don't like that. So I think knight takes e4 makes more sense in this position. My knight will be one more step forward, is what I mean. Having some ideas with b5, queen b6, and f2. Although there will not be any smother mate in this occasion due to the h2 square being opened by in the castle of white. So I don't know. I have 2 options: rook takes and knight takes. But as I said before, I don't like him pushing, and this pawn on e5 is vulnerable anyways. So I think I'm gonna take with a knight. There's c4 then maybe, but I believe I can take on e5 with a rook then. So knight takes. I'm expecting bishop f4 in that position. So he has gone queen f4. It's an interesting move. My idea here is to play c6 and then knight f5. That looks really solid. I don't see why not. And I want to start with c6 because the knight at the moment has a responsibility of defending this d5 pawn. So I'm gonna start with c6. Okay, cd, and now e3. That was my idea. Just very solidly defending the d4 pawn. And it seems that is nowhere my move here. This position is starting to be a little bit more hopeful for me, because this knight on d7 is slightly misplaced, and especially if I can gain the bishop pair, I will be really happy about my position. I assume that after a3 he's gonna retreat either to d6 or to e7. I don't think he should take, because then my position will be fairly decent. So apparently it's nowhere my move. Okay, that's interesting. Everybody's in the tank, as they call it. So here my teammate has decided to play bishop e3. I wonder if there is a reason not to play knight f5 immediately. I could consider knight e6 as well. So maybe think knight f5. I don't see why not. Putting a lot of pressure here. My knight is secured by this bishop. Also pressure against the bishop. I don't really see why not. I'm considering knight f5 and later play queen d6 to eliminate one more defender of the d4 pawn, and after knight takes d6 I can go back to f5. So I think I'm gonna play knight f5. Don't see why not. So here bishop f4, as I expected, was played. That makes sense. I can play bishop f5. I'm not sure if I have a threat after that. I can always go knight c5 and knight e6, is blockading this pawn in front of, excuse me, putting a blockade in front of this pawn, creating a blockade in this square that it is in front of the pawn is usually a good idea against isolated pawns, although in this position you cannot really call this pawn isolated because the f pawn is still alive. So I wonder if I should go bishop f5, just trying to scare him a little bit. I don't really have a threat there. Bishop f5 will be painfully met by bishop d3 maybe, and I will regret my life decisions. So I don't know, maybe knight c5, knight c5 or knight e6. Just, I mean, this knight on e4 is not too wrongly placed at the moment. I can also consider a move like queen h4 with tempo against the bishop, also putting pressure here. Sometimes if e3 is played, then I will have a target on h3. So I don't know, should I play queen h4? I don't really know. Should I play knight c5? It's another alternative. Knight c5 or knight e6? I don't know. I wonder. Queen h4. I'm a little bit scared that after queen h4, g3, queen h5, and well, later h4 of course because the pawn is hanging. Bishop e2, and my queen is short on squares. On the other hand, after queen h4 and moves like g3 and queen h5, I'm attacking this guy. h4 and bishop e2, I can go queen g6, and then I can create threats like knight takes g3, or my idea of going bishop f5 and then knight takes g3 could be a real idea. It looks interesting. Queen h4, queen h4, if f3 I can just take, and then pawn takes can be met by rook takes maybe, or maybe even I don't know. I wanna play queen h4. Hope not to be blundering anything. Not sure if I calculated. Ooh, he voluntarily gave me the bishop. Wow. Really? Wow. I'm stunned here. Like, what are you doing, dude? Really? That's really surprising. So you can take on e3, here in this position. Not sure if I want to. He will have to take with a pawn because then bishop g5 is real. Although, yeah, he has to take with a pawn. I was thinking that maybe queen to the h file, but the only other square to go to the h file is h4. So, I mean, with threats here. I can try g6. g6 in this position looks tempting. So that if he takes, his bishop takes. He helps me develop. I can also take here and gain the bishop pair. Provoke f takes, and that structure looks really bad. The reason why I like g6 is because it shuts down the whole b1 h7 diagonal, so that he will never have ideas to come to the h file and threaten mate. And also my bishop has another square to retreat in this position, and almost any other IQP position you usually like to have a bishop in the a fianchetto bishop in the king side to attack the weak IQP pawn. So that's why I'm seriously considering g6 here. The other option is to capture. He will have to take with a pawn, and then I don't really know. I can later go g6, yeah. I can also take, yeah, force pawn takes, and later harass it with bishop g5 and rook e8 and pressure against the e-file. Notice how the e-file will be half open. Currently is completely open, but after the capture it will be half open, and he can never really get rid of this pawn, as behind is his really weak d4 pawn. Very interesting. You know what? Let's keep a bit more tension in the position. I think my knight on f5 is stronger than his bishop on e3, so there is no reason to go in for that trade. Okay, I can play f3 and then e4. Not sure if I should go for that. Can also try queen b3 and b4. Not sure about that. I quite like f3 and e4, because if he ever captures, he's gonna open up my dark square bishop. Interesting. I'm gonna play rook c1. Just rook on the open file, and then see what happens. Okay. Okay, seems like this might move somewhere else. Bishop h2 was the chosen move. That makes sense. So now I'm wondering if bishop f5 is good. You can also consider bishop takes. Obviously, probably doesn't work at all. um, I can also just play a really normal move like bishop e6, just developing. The reason why I don't like bishop f5 is because after bishop d3 and I don't know, maybe queen h5 because I need one more defender. Or let's say for example he doesn't go bishop d3. Let's say for example he plays something else like rook d1. After knight e3 he has pawn takes. Yeah, I'm attacking his queen, but he's also attacking my queen, or even bishop takes, and my queen is hanging. If I take here, he takes there, and I'm gonna be down a piece. That's why I'm not too thrilled about this move. Also, my queen will very likely end up on the h5 square, and my bishop from f5 could get forked with g4 later on. I don't think it works, yeah, because I will have queen g6, but basically what I'm trying to do is avoiding a blunder where he could later maybe play a move like king h1 and after g4 I will get forked, yeah. So I'm trying to avoid that situation. It is sort of a prophylactic move, trying to avoid those kind of ideas. Also my bishop on e6 blocks this pawn, which means that this bishop is gonna be basically biting at his staring at his own pawn, and it is just completely passive. The only bishop that could do something for white is this light square bishop right here, but at the moment it seems like he's a little bit scared of some sacrifices against h3, so I don't know. I think bishop e6 is the move here. Okay, suppose knight f6. Reasonable. Now f3 is definitely, I'm definitely playing f3 here. I mean, maybe e5. So I might need to start with king h1 here, just getting out of this diagonal. Okay, so he's gone. Knight e2. Interesting. I think I'm gonna play rook e8 here, just trying to put more pressure against the e3 pawn with ideas of capturing and then going bishop g5 to win the pawn. So rook e8 looks reasonable. I don't see why not. Okay, so he has played a3. I honestly don't understand what that move is doing, but okay. He wants to move the rook, and since my rook is pressurizing along the a file, he had to play a weakened move such as a3. I think I'm gonna play b5. I just want to fix this pawn there and trying to emphasize my control over the light squares. Later you can imagine my knight and bishop converging on the b3 square. Also, I believe I'm gonna play knight c5 because I want to play knight e7 later on and pressurize this guy right here. So I don't know if I should go knight c5 now. I can definitely play rook to the foul here. I don't know. My idea is to do this, yeah, move the bishop and so on. The reason why I want to keep my queen here as much as possible is I want to make him fall for bishop e2. one day. Yeah, it is just too bad to play for hop chess. Not not a good idea. I should think for some more long-term plans. I think I like b5. Also, it supports some rook lifts with rook a4. As funny as it looks, this move. So here comes b5. I think I'm gonna trying to maybe induce this blunder. Yeah, not gonna happen, but b5 regardless is not a bad idea, I think. So he's come knight e4. Against this move, I wanted to play bishop e1, but now I'm realizing that this pawn will be hanging. Yeah, not good. So I miss that. And now the whole idea of going f3 and e4 doesn't make too much sense anymore. So as sad as it is, I think I'm gonna have to play queen e2 here. Let him take and recapture with my rook, hoping for a chance to retreat my bishop to e1. You know what? I want to play b3. Trying to diminish the pressure against the b pawn and encourage him to capture so that I can recapture and then pile up on the c file and make this piece look really silly on this diagonal. So I'm gonna play b3 here, trying to preserve my bishop. 6 con, knight g3. Okay, I think I'm gonna take on e3 now. I don't see why not. I can also consider knight e6, but knight takes e3 looks normal. Okay, let's take. Also, I don't have too much time remaining for the other games. I need to start speeding up here a little bit. He takes with a rook. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think I'm gonna play bishop e6 used to avoid any trades. Also, it introduces the idea of going bishop g5 with the skewer. So bishop e6 looks reasonable. And also I make sure that this pawn is just isolated. I can think of ideas with bishop g7 and queen b6. Bishop g7 first because there is pressure here, and then queen b6 with the attack against these guys. So these two ideas are pretty much available. f3 was played. I can consider knight e3, but that will fail to queen f2 with a pin. Although I can go f5 and swap the queens. But as I said before, I really like knight c5 in this position, and he's just encouraging me to go there. My knight from c5, it eyeballs the b3 square, and as I said before, my bishop and knight can converge on that square. I also have ideas to back up with moves such as knight e7, put some pressure here, and yeah, it looks normal. I don't see why not. Knight e3 could play queen f2 and then knight f5. Maybe he'll trade, takes, but I'm gonna go knight c5. I don't see why not. Okay. My white game is where I'm really way down on time. So I think I'm gonna switch here because I only have like 5 minutes here. So I have to be here as soon as my opponent makes a move. I don't want that the automatic switch will get me into other game other than this. I want to go here as soon as possible. Can I pre-move? I'll pre-move that. Can I do that? Oh, someone else made a move. Yeah. As I told you before, wondering if d4 is a move here. Then the rook takes. Yeah. So yeah, not quite. Yeah. Is rook a4 a move, or is that just extremely funky? Yeah, it could be extremely funky. Wait a moment. d4. Let me work out this line. There's cd4 and this is hanging. Yeah, that's a problem. I don't have this. He will just take and win 2 pieces for a rook. Not a good idea. The line that I was trying to make work is d4, rook takes, and well, I have some pressure here. That was what I was trying to maybe make work, but yeah, there's that. So maybe I can leave the queen there just for a little more, trying for cheapos. Yeah, I should be defending this knight, I believe. Trying maybe see if later this works, this d4 move. I'm gonna play b6 here. So a5, so he's letting me maintain this bishop. I might seriously consider bishop e1 here in this position, just to, in the event of e4, have b4. What I don't like after bishop e1 is some move like rook c8. What is this guy's rating? He's playing reasonably well. I'm a little bit worried about that, but I think I have it under control. I think. Okay, you run the risk. I'm gonna play bishop e1. So queen f3, yeah, that makes sense, but This is hanging. No, my friend. I don't have too much time. I have to play just by instinct now. A little bit faster now. Bishop takes d4. Let's go for it. The queen was the only defender of that pawn. Okay, now he has played rook b3. I think I'm just gonna play bishop b6. Just be very solid. Rook e3. That move smells a little bit fishy. I don't know why, but it feels kind of like I should have something here. I don't know. d4 I don't have the two rook takes, as I said. Do I have rook a4? I don't understand what the point of this move is. d4, there's that, yeah. Unfortunately. I'm gonna play queen g5 maybe, provoking maybe f4. I don't know. And then I will have this square. Queen g5, it wins a tempo. It introduces. Oops! I meant to draw an arrow. I barely made the move there. Oof. I meant to draw this arrow. With queen g5 I have these ideas. If f4 I can always play queen f5, I believe, since my knight is securing the d3 square. There is no bishop d3, I just capture it. So I'm gonna play queen g5 here, just win a tempo against this guy. He goes a4, okay, that's reasonable. I can play a5, I can also play d4. d4 attacking the rook and trying to get the passer rolling looks really sensible, and I don't have too much time. Don't want to lose some time. So queen f5 here, rook fc8 as I was expecting. I'm gonna try f3 here. I don't think I'm blundering anything. I don't see what I'm blundering. Okay, so I'm gonna pre-move this one, just in case he takes. Okay, so rook d3 was his move choice here. I can go c5, I can also play bishop d5. I quite like bishop d5 because it opens up my rook, it wins a tempo, and it also makes sure that the b7 pawn is hanging, because my first instinct was to play c5, then maybe queen takes b7 might be a move there. So I'm gonna play bishop d5 here. I don't have too much time, I have to play a little bit faster. So he's gone 96. I can try bishop f2 now. But I'm actually gonna play bishop d2 here. I just want to yeah, f3 was a bad move, really. I'm gonna play play faster. Oh my god, I'm gonna roll the dice and play bishop d2. I have a really bad position there. Really bad. Alright, so c5 was my idea here. Let's go. So my opponent here decided that trading is probably not too great for him because he wants g4. I see. So I'm gonna put a stop to g4. I need not to flag, and I'm gonna go right to this white game because yeah, really short on time here. So after takes, he wants to then bring his other rook here. So b3 was played here. Reasonable. I'm gonna offer a queen trade here. Queen trade, I'm just up material. I should be winning. So back to this game. I'm putting a very close eye into this game because my time is really short here. Yeah, after this one I thought queen e6 was a reasonable move, putting pressure against b3 and defending the bishop. So I'm gonna go for it. I think I should probably stay here now. Now that I think about it, here is where I'm even shorter on time. Okay, I can play bishop d8, trying to put my bishop back to f6. Can also take on b3. Not sure if I want to. What do I want to do? I need to make a decision fast here. Okay, bishop d8. It's gonna be it. Here h6 was played. Oof. Wow, really? So I'm gonna play queen e2. Let's get ready to recapture on c1 with the rook. Also, maybe. Oh, rook g3. That looks really weird because I have knight e4 now. I'm gonna play it. I don't have too much time. Knight e4, securing this square. On g5, there is no rook g5. I believe that was his idea, trying to win the h5 pawn. Okay, so he decided to go for queen d2. My idea here was bishop f6, so I'm just gonna. I can also take on b3. But you know what? This is nice and safe. It's bishop f6. Threatening this one. Because if I take on b3, bishop takes, queen takes, and then rook b1, I'm losing this guy, and I give him some activity. So back to my white game, which seems to be where I'm struggling the most, really. So e4 I cannot play. I can play a4. Now I will have to go back and then e4. I have to play faster. I'm gonna play rook d1. I don't know. I'm really short on time here. Okay, so here I'm gonna play queen d7. Okay, rook e3 back, yeah. Normal. That's normal. Should probably c5. Can I play c5? h4 I quite like as well, just creating a very nice clamp, but then the h pawn could become a target. That's the downside. Can also play c5, but then b5 hangs. Rook a4 is an idea. Is d4 a move? No. Is rook a4 any good? Or rook a5 or c5? Have to make a decision quickly here. I'm gonna play rook a7, maybe prepare to double somewhere, I don't know, maybe on the d file, I don't know, or on the a file. Oops, what was that? What was that? Okay, a4 it is. Yeah, I gotta play faster here. Nothing more. Okay, he's attacking my bishop. I'm just gonna attack this in. Bishop g7. Alright. So I'm gonna double on the d file ultimately. I'm gonna start with rook d8 maybe first. Yeah. Start with rook d8. Oh, he didn't switch. I need to be in either of these games. Like, okay, he's gone back. I'm gonna defend this pawn now, and now I need to be in the bishop d3. Aha, that's his idea. Okay, I didn't anticipate that one, but fortunately I have rook a4. Oh my god, I blundered that pawn. Okay, just don't panic. Don't panic. Queen c6. And I still have this threat. I hope. Pressure against g2, d3 is pending. So maybe I'm still okay. So knight b5 was the choice by my opponent. I'm gonna play queen d2 here. And now my position is starting to look a little bit better here in that game. Okay, so he decides to give up. Oh no, d8 is just hanging. No. Okay, I have to go back. I shouldn't blunder. Not a great idea. So I'm not gonna lose anything. I hope, at least. If you had taken here after bishop takes, there is this pin. Not good, yeah. Okay, so he allows me to push here. I think I'm gonna push. I don't see why not. Yeah, push. Push it is. It's knight f5, bishop f2 then. So he's gone 93. Why can I not take on g2? I don't see it. I'm gonna grab it. Okay, bishop f2. Looks reasonable. I was thinking maybe reroute my bishop, or directly reroute my bishop, not even. Okay, so he decides to grab. Yeah, I have to take. He's gonna take here, probably. Because rook takes, I have rook d1. Rook takes here, and queen takes, I have rook takes d1. Has to take on the 8 now. Oh my god. The time pressure is tough. It's really tough. Okay, he decides to take. Not sure if I should insert rook d1 first. Yeah, let's just try. I don't want to have a complicated position in time scrambles. Alright, so now I think I should be able to play bishop f3 here. And then d3 is coming again. Okay, goes knight e7. I should probably reroute this piece here. This piece on g2 is not doing anything, so let's try to make it. I'm gonna take here, I don't see why not. Goes rook c1. That's a good move, yeah. So I'm gonna play queen f6 here, trying to create this threat of queen g5 or bishop h6. Bishop h6, yeah, that's what I'm threatening. Winning the knight. It's gone bishop g6. Okay. I'm gonna play king e2, just slowly but surely get a reasonable position. So I can check here first, yeah. The point of this check is I want to play bishop d5 and then rook d2 check. That's the point. Alright. So I'm gonna try to double here behind the c file. Rook c3 in the event of knight b4, I have rook c1. So I'm guarding this, and so king f2. Yeah. Now my idea was to play. Actually, if I play something like bishop d5 first, I run into rook d4, so I gotta check first. And after the king moves, I'm gonna play bishop d5, or if he goes like king e1 or king e3, I'm gonna grab. Looks reasonable. Okay, now I'll double. He doubles. Okay. Can I play bishop d3, bishop d3, knight d4, rook c7, rook c7, rook c7, and bishop takes. I think I can play it barely, but I can. Takes, knight b4, rook c7. This takes. I can't. I think I will have to play something like a3 here, just to deny the b4 square to the knight. Knight h3 was chosen in this position. I'm just gonna make a move fast because I was flagging there. So this looks like the move. Let's do it. That was the whole idea. And now it should be winning. So let's switch to my game versus Prentice slot because I have 43 seconds here. I should play queen h4, yeah, but had like 15 seconds. I panicked. Yeah, queen h4 would have been winning there with the attack on this and creating this threat. It was just crushing, really. So it was knight e7. Interesting. Now I should be able to play bishop d3. I don't see why not. And play the ending with, but that is my bad bishop. I'm a little bit hesitant to go into that. I should probably play bishop e1, something sneaky, trying to grab there, but also not ideal. Yeah, not ideal. I'm gonna play bishop d3 just because I'm really short on time in the other two games as well, particularly in this one. So yeah. Okay, so now queen h4. I mean, I miss it once but not twice. So now switch off to the game against Cam. I think I'm gonna take. I don't. Oh, he trades first. Okay, let's just recapture. Pre-move queen takes d3. The endgame against the knight is really, well, it's not completely terrible, but it is just bad. If I go bishop h6, what are you doing? Huh, really weird. My opponent offers me a draw. What are you doing? Why will I take a draw here? I'm just winning. Alright, so I have several checks. Probably this check, yeah. Just win the f5 pawn. Is very important to win that pawn. So he takes, I'll take. And now I should switch to my game against Prentice slot because I have 15 seconds. I'm probably winning, but 15 seconds is just not a lot. Okay, he resigned kindly from his part. Good game. And now I'm gonna go back here because I don't have much time. He goes king g1. I'm gonna check again. Or no, let's just take here. You guys, yeah. I'm gonna play bishop e3. Just securing the c1 square. Make sure that there are no entry points guarding this square right here. In the event of knight f5, bishop d2, and then I have pressure here. A little bit at least. So I have won one game. Is what? So this just I'm just getting like weird. Alright, I'm gonna I'm gonna take the file here. Also putting a bit of pressure against that guy. So he goes c4. I'm just gonna play bishop e6. I don't see why not. Goes knight c6. Yeah, that's a reasonable move. I can play a4, but that will mean that this this square on b4 is gonna be available. So I'm gonna start with king f2 first. Approaching the king to the center, I'm sensing that this is gonna be knight against bishop endgame. King h7 here. Now this is hanging. This is a passer. This is winning. This endgame is just completely winning. b5 next. It is just winning. Yeah. This a pawn is just really fast. Okay, so he decides to play queen b5. This queen b5 move is encouraging me a little bit more to play a4 here with tempo. I don't particularly love it. I don't like to give control over that square. I think cam 52 honestly deserves a draw here. Let's play reasonably well. Can play bishop d2. I don't know if I want to play that. I wouldn't mind if we get a draw in that position, really. Okay, so he's attacking this pawn. And I should be able to capture this guy right here. So I'm just gonna take. He offers me a draw. I'm gonna take it. I don't think I can win this. So he takes on b6. I'm gonna play bishop e5 just to make sure that the a6 square is not available. So this is the only remaining game of the simul, and I promised all my teammates to make a small post analysis of the game. So since Arkun and or Arkun or Arkun, I don't know how it is pronounced, is not a teammate of mine, I won't be making analysis of his game, and Campcam 52 is also not a teammate of mine, so I won't be making any analysis of his game either. So only analysis of the game against Prentice Slot. Alright, so my idea basically here is I'm just guarding this guy and I'm gonna run the a pawn to queen. So he immediately attacks it. Rook f3 is a little bit trickier than I liked it to be. I made my life harder than it needed to be. Because after rook f3, king g2, I'm not seeing a way to defend the f pawn. I should have played maybe rook f3, king g2. I made a mess out of this position. I'm a little bit concerned about this pawn. I want to lose this guy. I'm even considering, honestly, to just give up this guy right here, just to keep my f7 pawn. Yeah, I don't know. I made a mess out of this position. The problem is rook f3, rook takes. Rook f3, king g2, and if I move my rook, let's say, I don't know, here maybe, he has rook takes. Maybe I can do that actually. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna run the risk, trying to. So he will play king e2. I'm gonna play rook e3. He doesn't have. I mean, he has king f2, then rook e2 check. Should be able to keep pushing this guy. Can even consider a move like rook f1 after king g2. No, sorry, I just blundered the pawn. Of course not. I should play rook here. Yeah, rook takes, and then, for instance, king g2, rook here, rook takes, and then push. That's my idea. And in particular, I like rook e3 because the rook is placed behind this passed e pawn. But I made my life much more complicated than it needed to be. I really made it. Because c6, like what? Really? I just take it. His idea is bishop e5. I understand, but like pawn takes, this bishop e5. I think I'm gonna. Oh, he offers me a draw. No, of course not. This is not a draw. I mean, you have bishop e5, but this is not gonna be a draw. Pawn takes, check. King f5, check in there. It's really risky to grab this. Should I give the check first? I wanna give this check first. The point is that I'm immediately threatening to promote, yeah? Like king g2, pawn takes, bishop e5, and a2. That's my idea. Hope that I did not miscalculate anything. My idea is after bishop here, I want to push. That's my idea. Yeah, like so. So a2, okay. But maybe he can just take and go back. That'll be... Oh, he takes with it. Wow, what? What? Really? So I have king g6 here. Alright, so I'm gonna play king g6. Let's do it. Cannot take because the bishop is hanging. The problem is that after some move like bishop e2 maybe, for instance, or that one. So my idea here was to harass this guy, trying to not give him any time to capture on a2. He can give this check, but king f5, and I'm attacking the piece that defends his rook. Actually, king h6 is... There's that, takes, and then a queen. Okay, so king h6 is probably winning. I don't know for sure if he gives this check. There is no move like that because then that will be painful. Or maybe there's bishop d2, rook c2, and rook d7, but then a queen. So no, not quite. Phew, barely. So he goes there. I should probably defend with my bishop because I like keeping my queen, excuse me, my rook on this rank. That's why I'm defending with the bishop and not with the rook. Keeping control over the queen square on a1 is always useful. He goes h4. I don't mind that. I can give a check on e5 and then run with my... I'm gonna play king f5 actually here. Idea is this one, shut down the... the diagonal, and then a1. So I can meet this check with a counter check. And then this is pending, and a1 is looming. It's over. It should be over. So he gives me a check, but then I give him a check. And e5 is pending. Oh, e5. This is coming, boys. He's lost. He's completely lost. So a1 is coming, boys, here. Let's see. Let's see if he resigns. This seems like a good moment to resign. In rook a, a1 check, I go here. My opponent here telling me that he's offering me a draw, but I'm just winning. Why will I take a draw? This is just winning. I queen. If he gives me a check, I go here. And that's all she wrote. Okay. Now the mate is coming here. Mate in a couple. He's offering me another draw. Oh man, this is winning for black. Why does he offer a draw? Oh my god, this is fun. Okay, let's give this check. Oh man, this is really funny. Rook g2 queen here is lights out. So yeah, I can almost pre-move it. And simul complete. Back to the, let's say, good games all. And now I'm gonna go to the game of my teammate. Hopefully what I offer him here will be fairly useful for him. So the opening started with e4. I replied e5 as I usually do these days. knight f3, knight c6, and soon we got Italian opening with bishop c4. I replied bishop c5, my preferred choice. I went knight f6 and he went for c3. Here knight takes c4 is the main line, as I said before, and arguably the best way to continue for white in this position is as he did in the game, d4, e4, cd4. Now it looks really scary right here with the open e-file, but I just have this very nice move, and is one of the reasons why this line with the white pieces is not seen as often. After d5 the main line goes dc5, as you can see here. 79 games played and black scores very well here. dc4, and now queen e2 is supposed to be also the main line. After queen d3, if you take cd, rook e1, I can play f5 here, or maybe, yeah, f5 I think should be decent. Knight e2, I can castle even. Knight takes, pawn takes, rook takes, bishop f5, rook back, knight e4, and there is a threat of knight c2. For instance, knight a3. Maybe I missed something. Let me just check with the computer if I miss anything in the lines I gave here. Obviously nobody takes on d3 as you can see in the database here of Lichess. Everybody plays rook e1, after which you go f5. That's the main line. So my engine here is struggling to find a line, but just looking at the development advantage that white has here is just very, oops, wrong button. It's gotta be good here for has to be good for black. Even something like rook d8, forcing some or rook e8 also. Something like this. Actually, now that I think about it, the line I gave after knight e4, knight a3. No, I was thinking that I had knight c2 immediately, but no, I don't. Now the comp is working, but it says knight 2, king f1, and you take. Takes. You cannot take with this rook, so it has to take with that. So takes, rook here, rook d1, rook d5, going after this pawn. And yeah, but you can clearly see that my point is that you can clearly see that that is no problem at all. So for instance, after queen d3, the top choice here is this one, then f5, knight c3 is the main, and castles, yeah. Knight takes e4, pawn takes e4, queen takes e4 maybe, and bishop f5 if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's the main line. Queen h4 apparently, and then rook e8. If my memory serves me well, I believe that in my game that I played OTV, I played c3 here, or rook e8, I don't exactly remember. I don't remember honestly. But I won that game. I won that game, is what I remember. So instead, Prentice played the move rook e1, which has never been played according to Leach's database, Master's database. And here both moves, I consider either of these moves, and apparently they are around the same evaluation, so I'm not unhappy with my bishop e7 move. That's why I said I wasn't familiar with rook e1, it's not in the database. Bishop b4, I was a little bit concerned with this one, but the computer used castles. It's cold-blooded, use castles. That makes a lot of sense. I honestly didn't even see that my bishop is just defended. I thought I had to take. Then bishop b4 was better, maybe. That from my point of view. I went bishop e7. He went bishop e3. I mean, I used castle, very sensible. He went knight fd2, which I don't understand. Why does he play this move? I didn't understand this move, honestly. I decided to just take it because there is not a satisfactory way for him to recapture. If he takes with the bishop, he immediately drops the d4 pawn. And if he takes with the queen, the bishop on c1 cannot be developed. So I decided to take, which seems a very reasonable way of playing. Queen takes, and then bishop f6 with a lot of pressure against the d4 pawn. He went knight c3, putting pressure against the d5 pawn. I decided to go for knight e7 because I'm prepared to go c6 and later knight f5 to solidify my pawn on d5 and also put pressure against his very weak d4 pawn. He goes for queen f4, and then I just follow my plan with c6. I cannot play knight f5 immediately because then I will drop the d5 pawn. He goes bishop e3. I went knight f5, just increasing the pressure against e4. Also, sometimes I can take on e3 as it happened in the game. Bishop c2. I decided to play e6 just to discourage him from grabbing on f5, as he will immediately develop my bishop. He goes knight e2. I went rook e8, trying to just build up the pressure against e3 with ideas to capture, and then go bishop g5. He went knight e3, which was not sure that it was too good, but at this point it was honestly really bad for him. I think the move that gives me a very big advantage is knight fd2. I wonder if this was a mouse slip, that he meant to put the other knight here. I don't really understand this move. It just basically gives up the d4 pawn in the long run. This pawn is just gonna be lost. I don't understand this move. If not lost, the pawn on d4 is gonna be very hard for him to just keep this pawn. For instance, after castles, he could have continued with knight c3, challenging my knight and also putting pressure against d5. I don't understand why he didn't play this move. Maybe he was afraid with bishop b4, as the computer is suggesting here, pinning the knight, but I don't know, you can always try something like bishop d2, or the computer suggests rook e3, and it wouldn't have been that bad for white here. For instance, let's say bishop b4, bishop d2, maybe. Computer doesn't like bishop d2. Okay, takes. I will take with the b pawn to get more control over the d4 pawn, and now this is it is playable because I had to give up my dark square bishop. You can maybe claim some compensation with the bishop pair here, and it continues. The game continues here. After knight fd2, this is very difficult already. Also here, this rook e1 move, the computer doesn't show it as an inaccuracy, but in my opinion it is just an inaccuracy. He probably didn't know the opening theory here. That will be my guess, with d takes e5, d c4, queen e2, and queen e3, as I shown here. So yeah, it is that. Then it was just technical play by me, not much to say here. Bishop e6, very normal, threatening bishop g5, creating pressure here. Maybe ideas to go bishop g7 and queen b6 with a lot of pressure. He decided to go queen f3, which pretty much releases the defense of the d4 pawn. I think he just did not see that the d pawn was just hanging. Rook b3, attacking the pawn on b7. I went bishop b6, just shutting down the file. a4, d4, just with the attack on this guy. Also get the passers rolling. Rook d3, I went bishop d5 because I wanted to support with c5 and not allow any queen takes b7. He went queen g4, I went c5, b3, queen c8, offering a queen trade, queen g5, queen e6, rook d1, bishop d8, bishop f6, queen d7, and now knight e4, bishop g7. I didn't see this knight e4, honestly. I blundered that one, but as you can see, I was already really short on time. It was a slight time scramble there in a couple of games of a simul. So knight e4, bishop g7, he took on c5. Obviously I just blundered that pawn. I mean, I gotta be honest there. Knight e3, and now I took on g2, bishop f3, creating threats one day of entering here. I went queen f6 because I wanted to play queen h4, and then after knight h3 I just panicked because I had just only a couple of seconds in this and some other game. I don't remember which one, but I was down 2 seconds here, and I was entering in panic, and I just made a move there just to not lose on time. And now I should play this queen h4 move. If I have the second opportunity, I will definitely play it. I will not blunder it again. And now bishop h6, and it's pretty much game over. The threat is to take here and give mate. Very simple and almost unstoppable, really. So that's the one thing to remember for my opponent. If given the choice, I will suggest him not to play the c3 line. This is just if black knows the theory of this line, he's gonna be slightly better, and he absolutely, I mean, I could say he cannot lose, but he can definitely lose. Yeah, anyone blunders under time pressure, the nerves, you don't see a tactic, anything like that. But objectively, these Scotch Gambit positions are just better for black. It is what it is, or slightly better for black at least. I would recommend to my teammate to find some other approach like d3. Just defend the pawn, or rook e1. Just be solid, play normal moves. Try to um, try to make black suffer here a little bit in the Italians. To be honest, I just struggle a lot more in these d3 positions in the Italian game. When I played as black, I struggle. Like for instance d6, and there are sometimes these pins. There are ideas like c3 b4 and expansion on the queen side. There are ideas to play this typical maneuver, and if ever the bishops are exchanged, you can occupy the f5 square. There are some ideas. There are even some tricks with, for instance, I'm gonna put a line on the board like d6, c3, castles, b4, bishop b6. There are some tricks with, after for instance a4 and a5, b5, knight, let's say black goes knight b8. I just want to highlight some point. Then you have moves like knight bd2, for instance. Let's say black develops, and now something like, I'm just putting some random moves to just to highlight my idea here in this position. For instance, bishop here, and let's say you can see, yeah, this is the point that I was highlighting. This bishop a3 move is very tricky. Now you have this shot, knight takes e5. That's the point. That's the whole point of playing bishop a3. So you have knight takes e5. Whenever this queen appears on e7, you have these tricks. So obviously this expansion is always reasonable for white, and you gain some space on the queen side, and you sometimes have these tricks, yeah, with knight takes e5. That's the point that I was trying to highlight. So quite a lengthy video, but I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.